Hello, this is Rod Ketchens of RK Solid Fitness here at Four Seasons Health Club. Today we're going to talk a little bit about abdominals, and we're going to do a quick abdominal workout. With your abdominals, you have your upper, your lower, your middle, and so this is your core area right here. So basically when you do anything as far as resistance training, you are doing some type of abdominal work. I found when I had an injury to my quad, my patella tendon, I found how much my abdominals actually work when I'm just standing and sitting down. So your abdominals are a huge thing as far as your balance goes and as far as strength goes and just the mobility of the rest of your body. So it just really, this is what controls everything. When I used to play football and they would want us to tackle someone, we would always watch their abdominals and watch their waistline to decide where their body actually was going to go. So it just tells you how important the abdominals are and how much the core dictates what the rest of the body does. All right, so what we're going to do today, we're going to do some sit-ups, we're going to do some crunches, we're going to do different variations of those things. And like I said, you have your upper and your lower is what we're going to try to focus on today. Anytime we're working our legs, leg raises, anything like that, it works a lot of the lower abdominals, isolates that area anyway. And it also will hit some of the upper abdominals, but it's more isolation for the lower. And then we're also going to do some crunches, some sit-ups, which will be more isolation for the upper, although it's still going to focus on some lower, but it's mainly going to focus on the upper. I recommend for a lot of people, especially if they're just getting into abdominal work, to think about that is your lower abdominals will weaken quicker than your upper abdominals will. So if you are doing an abdominal workout and you think that your lower abs are your weakest part, you should focus on doing the lower first because they will fatigue faster than your upper will. So your leg raises first and then go into your crunches and your sit-ups. All right, first thing we're going to do today is sit-ups, and we're going to combine sit-ups and crunches together. Now, when we're doing sit-ups, there's different ways of having your hands positioned and anything like that. So basically, you can either do arms out, you can do hands to the side of your head here, you can cross your arms over here. The thing you don't want to do when you're doing sit-ups and crunches is you don't want to wrap your hands around the back of your head, because once you start fatiguing, instead of working on your abdominals, you're going to start pulling your head forward. And I've noticed from working with people over the years, they tend to get a little stiff neck there, and if you do any high repetitions especially, it'll really tighten up their neck area and it makes it very uncomfortable. So think about keeping your hands to the side of your head, just like this, or taking your arms out, we call it the Superman, and you're just going twisted side to side or straight up and down with your arms straight out, or just crossing your arms across your body just like this and just coming up and down. All right, first thing we got is sit-ups and crunches with bent knees. Now, each one of these exercises I want you to do 1 minute of them. So this workout will probably last you about 10 to 15 minutes if you complete it at least twice with the variations that we're going to do. Now, in between each set, we're going to do something in between each exercise I have you doing as well, which is going to be a plank. And so that we're going to really keep your abdominals tight the whole time that we're working them. So first exercise is going to be sit-ups with crunches using bent knees. So you're just going to be down on the floor, this position, bending the knees here. All right, you're going to come up and down right into a crunch. Up, down, into a crunch. Up, down, to a crunch. Up, down, into a crunch. Now from this floor position, you go right into sit-ups side to side. So we're going to do 10 repetitions and then go right into 10 side to side and then crunch again. So it's going to be side, side, crunch. Side, side, crunch. So we'll repeat those two for 1 minute straight. After that 1 minute, I'm going to have you go down into a plank position. Now, plank position is going to be forearms here. Keep your back flat, keep your hips down. And what you're going to do is get you a little timer. I want you to hold for 30 seconds to a minute, depending on what your strength level is. So just hold it in place right here. Okay, this is going to really work the core. As you've already exhausted your abdominal wall, now we're going to work on the core even more by just holding in place. And so your abs are really still getting that effect There's not really given much time to relax in between. So it's a great workout as far as keeping constant resistance going. Okay, we'll do that for about a minute, 30 seconds to a minute, depending on your strength level. Now also I should mention, when you're doing the planks, if you can't do it on your forearms, then we'll do the variation of the plank, which is push-up position basically here, and just holding in place here. So you'll have some variation of a plank that you can do. And once again, 30 seconds to a minute. And if you want to start off on your forearms and then go into the push-up position, you can do that as well. All right, next we're going to do is going to be legs on the bench, and we're going to do crunches. We're going side to side with these crunches with your feet or legs up on the bench here. You can use a chair, you can use your bed, or you can just hold your feet in place here. So it's going to be here, going side to side. Now when I tell you to go side to side in this exercise, what this is doing is working what's called your intercostal muscles. And if you ever see, Google me sometime and see some of the pictures that I have on the website or on my on Google, you'll see the intercostal muscles here. The intercostal muscles look as like piano keys. It's called serratus intercostal. It's a muscle that goes right across here. So the muscle fibers kind of run like fingers going across here. It also will help work the obliques by not actually building size to them, but toning them up. So a lot of times if you do have a blocky physique, you want to make sure that you don't do any weighted exercises side to side, but just use your own body weight, because by doing weighted exercises, it'll make your waistline even blockier yet. So I'll see a lot of times in the gym, first thing people do is they come in, they've never really worked out, and they've seen a video or they've YouTube something, and the first thing they do is they got weights and they're going side to side, and they're trying to use weights for their abdominals. And what you want to do is you want to start off slow with either way it goes, whether you have a blocky physique or you don't, and you want to work your way up to doing something like that. But initially you want to kind of assess your physique and say, hey, is my waistline trim? If I want to trim it up more, I want to make sure that I go without any weights and just side to side, just getting the range of motion, getting the squeeze, and getting the repetitions that you need, so you get some tone and not make that even blockier as far as your obliques go. You want your physique to run V-taper here and not down straight or out like this, so especially with women. So crunches, we're going side to side with those, intercostals, obliques, side to side here. All right, we're gonna do those for 10 to 20, and then you're going straight up again with your crunches. Just like that. So try to range between 10 and 20 repetitions, doing it for 1 minute. Okay, so that first group of exercises, 1 minute into a 30-second to 1 minute plank. Second exercises, we're going 1 minute into, once again, back into the planks again. So either this position here or this position here for your planks. And once again, 30 seconds to a minute for the planks. And once again, you can start off on your elbows or forearms, and then you work your way back up to the push-up position if you don't have the strength to stay in that position right there. Okay, next we're going to do what I call knee ups with a push-up position. So once again, we're working the lower abdominals. I'm going to do this off of this mat because it's single slide and I might face plant here. So we're going to go here, in this position here, and you're just bringing your knee in and out, just like this. Okay, we're going to do 20 on each leg. Okay. 20 on this leg. And then you're going to rest in between. You're going to rest for about 10 seconds, and go back into that again, and then you're going to go right back down into your plank, or your plank here. Okay, 30 to 60 seconds. All right, lastly, the last exercise. And remember, we're doing each one of these exercises for 1 minute, and then we're going planks in between each one of those, 30 seconds to a minute. The last thing you're going to do is just going to be a pulse. I'm going to have you cross your feet over, just like this. Hands at the side of your head, arms out here, or cross over here, and you're just gonna crunch. You're just keeping constant tension on your abs the whole time. Doing this for 1 minute. Okay, you finish that. Last thing, right back to the planks again. 30 seconds to a minute, or 30 seconds to a minute here, and that'll complete your abdominals. Once again, if you can do this exercise at least 2 sets through, if you can get 3, that'd be better, but 2 sets through, you get a good, probably 15-minute workout on your abs, and that's plenty to do on your abdominals. One of the big questions people always ask me is, how do I get my abdominals? How do I get that six-pack? Well, I always tell them it's push-aways. So you got to push away from the dinner table with that one. So actually, abdominals, the actual shape of them, everybody has a six-pack underneath, but you do have to get the layers of fat off so that you can see it. So the nutrition is going to be key to that. And then, once again, all these exercises I'm showing you, if you do already have the body fat off, this will definitely help to shape the muscles more. And if you don't have the body fat off, it's still going to help to strengthen your abdominals, help with some of the shaping. But the nutrition along with your abdominal workout, that's how you get a six-pack. So you got to remember that. Always got to remember nutrition. And they say abs are built in the kitchen. So nutrition and abdominal work equals a six-pack. And not everybody wants that, but you'll still get that strength. You'll get that core strength. It'll help with your balance. It'll help with everything that you do as far as movement and your core. So everything will work very well for you if you can get stronger abdominals. All right, remember hand positioning side so you don't tighten everything up. Cross over here, arms straight out. All right, those are your basics for your abdominals. And also, like I should mention, one of the other questions I get all the time too, so we'll cover that too right now, is how many times a week should I do abdominals? Now, abdominals, you want to treat those just like any other body part. Now, you can work your abdominals every day, but you want to have some recovery time for your abs too. So it's not a necessity to do your abs every day. If you feel like you're strong enough, and that's the level of strength that you need, is you have to do them every day, because you want to do lower abs one day, upper abs another day, you can do that. You can switch it up and back and forth that way. But you want to treat your abdominals just like any other body part, and you do want to have some type of rest, because like I said before, when you're standing and sitting and doing leg raises, lunges, leg press, your abdominals are always working. So they're working 24/7, and even when you're just standing up. So you want to make sure that you have some type of rest period for your abdominals. Otherwise, you're going to wind up, tearing something, straining something, and that's one thing that you don't want to do. Another key I want to give you here is you want to make sure that you only do the exercises that you're comfortable doing. If you have low back issues, leg raises, you got to be careful with those, because your lower abs and your lower back go hand in hand. And I've found a lot of times when I'm working with people who do have back issues, we avoid the lower, we do some crunches, do more of the upper abdominals, until we strengthen the lower up, and then these two work hand in hand. So if you strengthen lower abs, you're going to strengthen your lower back as well. Another thing you want to remember is, if you start too extreme with the leg raises and the sit-ups, there's a chance you may strain an abdominal muscle, chance you may get a hernia. Things like that happen if you start off too hard, especially if you've never done anything or haven't done anything for a long time. So always start slow, work your way into it, and then you'll be successful. That way, be injury-free, and abs will get stronger. This is Rod Ketchens, RK Solid Fitness at Four Seasons Health Club, signing off.